The Democratic Party rallies around Kamala Harris, with the vice president securing enough delegate support to be the party's nominee. And we have the story of a 21-year-old archer looking to make her mark at the Olympics. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Tuesday, July 23rd. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. We start this morning on the campaign trail, where Vice President Kamala Harris has secured the majority of Democratic delegate support across more than half of U.S. states, enough to potentially win the party's nomination for president. Harris will make her first campaign stop in Wisconsin today. Endorsements and donations continue to pour in for Harris, including the endorsement of the majority of state delegates that will vote for their nominee in a DNC virtual roll call. We can expect that to happen by August 7th at the latest, well ahead of the actual convention on August 19th. It's not just support from state delegations. Another big endorsement Harris secured was that of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And as far as campaign funds go, Harris has raised a staggering $81 million in her first 24 hours as a presidential candidate. While Democrats seem to be picking up momentum after a chaotic few weeks of uncertainty, on the Republican side, it was former President Donald Trump's newly announced vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, making his first solo campaign appearance in Virginia, saying Kamala Harris is a million times worse than Biden at the top of the Democratic ticket. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has arrived in the U.S. for a visit with top political leaders. Despite President Biden's COVID diagnosis, he's nearly symptom-free, according to the White House. So a meeting with Netanyahu is reported to be happening on Thursday, a day after he delivers a speech to Congress. Netanyahu is expected to thank the U.S. for its ongoing support for Israel in its war against Hamas. But some Democratic lawmakers are expected to boycott Netanyahu's speech. House Speaker Mike Johnson has already threatened to have anyone who disrupts the event arrested. Netanyahu is focused on shoring up bipartisan support for Israel as the country continues to fight not only Hamas, but is facing growing security threats from Iranian-backed groups in Lebanon and Yemen. Netanyahu says Israel will still be a key U.S. ally to whoever replaces lame duck President Joe Biden. And the Prime Minister is expected to meet with presidential candidate Kamala Harris during his visit to the U.S. Reports show he has also reached out to former President Trump to potentially meet with him before departing the U.S. It's unclear if that meeting will take place this week. Former President Trump is appealing his New York civil fraud conviction, saying the $454 million judgment against him is excessive. In their appeal on Monday, Trump's attorneys called the ruling draconian and repeated arguments they used during the bench trial, saying allegations made by New York's Attorney General were outside the statute of limitations and revolved around deals that had no victims and no losses. A spokesperson for the New York State Attorney General says they are confident this appeal will go nowhere. An appeals court says it will hear oral arguments in late September. Congress is calling on CrowdStrike CEO to testify over last week's massive outage that grounded multiple airlines, knocked banks and hospitals offline, and impacted millions around the world. Impacts from the software glitch are still being felt, especially by Delta Airlines, seeing hundreds more flight cancellations on Monday due to its crew tracking software still not working right after CrowdStrike's disruption. Republican leaders of the House Homeland Security Committee say they want CEO George Kurtz to explain what exactly went wrong. So far, all we know is a glitched update to CrowdStrike's security software caused computers powered by Microsoft Windows to crash. Microsoft said on Saturday about 8.5 million devices were affected. House leaders want CrowdStrike CEO to schedule a hearing by tomorrow. On Monday, it was Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle testifying before Congress, answering questions surrounding Trump's near assassination at a Pennsylvania rally. Since her testimony, both Democrats and Republicans are ramping up their calls for the director to resign over what they call a botched operation. Our Washington correspondent Ray Bogan has our story.
It is my firm belief, Director Cheadle, that you should resign.
Members on both sides of the aisle called on her to resign or be fired for her agency's failure to stop the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
If you have an assassination attempt on a president, a former president, or a candidate, you need to resign.
I think that I am the best person to lead the Secret Service at this time.
Members were openly frustrated with Cheadle and demanded answers about the agency's planning for the Butler, Pennsylvania rally and the ongoing investigation into the shooting. Time and time again, she was unable or unwilling to provide information.
I'm unable to answer details of exactly how the individual accessed the roof at this time. I personally do not review security plans for events that take place across the country.
You can find Ray's full report on SAN.com and the Straight Arrow News mobile app. A scary situation from the skies. Federal investigators want to know why a Southwest Airlines jet flew as low as 150 feet above water while still 5 miles out from the Tampa Bay airport, where it was set to land, then ended up landing nearly 200 miles away in Fort Lauderdale. The incident happened on July 14th. The Federal Aviation Administration says that far out from its designated landing spot, the plane should have been more than 1,000 feet above the water. The flight from Columbus, Ohio was flying through stormy weather when it happened and ended up being rerouted to Fort Lauderdale as a result of the storms. A similar incident happened last month in Oklahoma City when a Southwest jet flew unusually low while still miles away from the airport. The FAA is still investigating that incident as well. Finally this morning, a 21-year-old archer is looking to make her mark at her first Olympic Games as a member of Team USA. Here now is senior producer Brock Kohler with today's Racing Toward Paris story.
In archery, to reach your target, you need accuracy, focus, precision. For San Diego's Catalina G. Noriega, she is precisely on target, her trajectory taking her to Paris for her first Olympic Games.
I think it's like a dream come true. I think there's so many people that dream of that, like for so long and work so hard, but like really such a good feeling, like a dream come true to be able to say that I've made it and like I'm gonna go compete there. So yeah.
First picking up the bow and arrow at age 12, G. Noriega gravitated to the independence the sport provides an athlete, the opportunity to hone your craft while staying in the zone. Just arrows, a bow, the archer, all coming together for a united purpose.
It's like hard to pinpoint like what it is exactly, but I like that it's like individual. I'm like I'm able to like focus on myself. Like I always like that, like especially like when I was a kid, like I think that drew me in, that it was just like all I had to do was like just show up and shoot.
And it's a 10.
Look at that. Nice shooting.
Now at age 21, whether she's competing as an individual or part of a team, G. Noriega will have her parents there in Paris to cheer her on, the ones who supported her through it all, as she proudly represents her Mexican-American heritage as a member of Team USA.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, it's like such an honor, and like it's crazy to think that like I'm on the like, you know, Team USA, on the same team as like someone like Simone Biles and like all these other people that are just like incredible, and like I'm on that same team, and like that's just an incredible feeling. Like I just can't believe it.
And she's now on the hunt for her next target, Olympic medals.
The goal would be to get medals, but like overall I just want to go have fun, like, and do what I know how to do, and like just shoot and like trust myself and enjoy it, you know, because it's, you know, hopefully not like just once, but it's like kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity, and like I just want to enjoy it.
What a unique sport and opportunity. We wish Catalina the best of luck representing Team USA. We appreciate you choosing Straight Arrow News for your top stories every day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.